Wayne, we're cutting costs. Colored paper's more expensive.
Weren't they usually?
Yeah. No, I'm afraid to open it.
Thank you.
Can you read it? You don't get a green paper anymore.
If it's a bribe, don't tell me.
We're cutting costs.
Thank you. This came around so fast.
Hey, kid, did you have fun? Yes, I did. Okay, good. How was Disney World? Was it good?
That's really
Were you guys
Thank you.
exhausted?
A little bit, but we got breaks in between.
Okay. Oh, I just sent Scott a message. That's so funny. Oh.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, here.
Heather was just asking me about it, if we had information too.
Don't that kid go put his name on there. Remember, no approving. The kid that said he couldn't read.
Everybody ready?
Yeah,
Yes.
sure.
All right. Thank you for coming out this evening for our February 11th, 2025 Elkhart Community School Board meeting. At this time, I will call the meeting to order. Would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the Mr. Burnett, the Elkhart Promise.
The Elkhart Promise. Every student is known by name, challenged, and supported by highly effective staff, and in partnership with the community will graduate career, college ready, and life ready.
Thank you, Mike. Next, our invitation to speak protocol. Everybody should receive one of these. If you want to speak on any agenda or non-agenda item, please fill this out and give it to Dora. Please, when your name is called, please step up to the microphone. Please announce your name and relationship to the district. You'll have a total of 3 minutes to address the board on any agenda or non-agenda items. Any matters that pertain to personnel issues, issues involving students, this is not the setting to use personal names, students' names, situations like this. We, as a board, are unable to comment during this time. There is a manner within a policy that allows for those types of grievances or issues to be relayed to the administration, and we'll get you the proper response. So please keep that in mind when speaking in the public comment section. Dora, do we have anybody? We have no one. Okay. Next, we have a moment of pride with the Air Force JROTC. Please come forward.
Good evening.
Good evening.
We are the Air Force Junior RTC IN 20162 unit. Today we are giving our mission brief presentation. First things first, I want to give a brief overview of what we're going to cover. We have the 2024 to 2025 unit goals and measurements, the unit physical training progress, our community service and field trips, our co-curricular / LDR, and current unit activities, achievements, etc. First things first, I just wanted to cover certain goals. We have a few cadet impact goals and school impact goals. First things first, we have a goal for the 75% or greater passage of the 30 command drill sequence. That is a second year requirement. Secondly, we want to get more than 50% of cadets score 30th percentile. We're trying to get a healthier core, a more active student body. Second is school impact. We believe in a strong relationship between cadets the unit and the school board. So first things first, we want to sponsor school-wide can drive, which we have done this past year, and we have collected over 1,000 cans. We have achieved that goal. Secondly, we want to get 2 recruiting events at both the freshman division and 2 feeder middle schools. So that would be Northside, so on. Lastly, we have completed our community impact goals, which is our 6 color guard events in support of local communities. And secondly, we completed the annual Ugly Sweater Run, just this past year. And then I will be turning over to Cadet Weaver.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I cover the PFT data. We do 2 PFT events to establish a baseline and then a midpoint to check progress. We do 3 events: mile run, walk, push-ups, and sit-ups, and all of our cadets have achieved that 50 or higher in the 30th percentile range. That's all from me from now.
Good evening. My name is Cadet Captain Larson. I will be covering the community service and our CIA trip, which is basically our field trip that we take with our staff. So we, as a community service aspect, we like to try to get out in the community as much as we can to help. So we have conducted roughly 7 service events, totaling about 776 community service hours. And we have a trip planned to the Air Force Reserve Grissom Air Force Base in May, which will hopefully get a lot of cadets out to see that so they can have fun and learn. And the LDRs in the program that we offer. So LDRs are our leadership development requirements. And we offer Raider Team, Drill Team, Color Guard, Saber Team, Marksmanship, JLab, and APT.
I also am the captain of Raider Team, and for the past 2 years now, we went to Fort Knox, Kentucky, and we are a Air Force National Championship team for 2 years in a row, one for the mixed division and one for the all-male. It's quite the accomplishment. I am very proud of the Raider Team. It's very physically challenging, and we train to be elite.
I'm one of the leaders of the drill team. We try to practice as much as we can, and we work on going to our comps in the spring, which we have one coming up in March. And we also like to be in the parades at Memorial and Labor Day. We're also in the homecoming parade for the school. And we just try to make sure we're getting our marching because that is a big part of our program. We also do color guard. You might have noticed we do it a lot at the games. We try to get out to as many as we can. We also go to West Side for Veterans Day to show our support there. And we also do it at the OSMC. And we have made news multiple times for that. And they just love having us. We love being there. Saber Team. We actively try to do send-offs for state. So when people go to state for sports, we try to be there to send them off with a arch. And we also, at our military ball, have them there to greet our the cadets coming in and to just welcome them to the thing.
Hello, I'm Cadet Deinhardt, and I'm talking about the school extracurriculars. There are currently 41 activities in JROTC that the cadets participate in. Outside of the program, we have a very, very diverse group, as you can see on the charts. There are certain clubs that are not shown on the chart. There are certain groups that are not shown on the chart. We couldn't fit it all. There's a lot. We are a very diverse group. Currently, we still have our military ball decoration committee, which it has changed over the years, but there is a picture from last year. We have our team building events that are also extremely fun. Flag retirement ceremonies are such like a proud moment to be a part of. We do it, I believe, almost every year. We try to get at least 2 in a year. PRC, we have we have a couple mandatory events, but that is one of our mandatory events, which is PRC, which is Promotion Recognition Ceremony. We recognize all of our cadets. Then we have Raider State, which I am not a part of the Raiders team, but as being a cadet, part of the JROTC program at Elkhart High School, I'm very proud of my friends that are in the Raider team. Then we have the Bontown Death March, which is also a mandatory event in JROTC. We had lots of fun. I couldn't be there because I had to get my driver's license, but I know I know a lot of people had fun, and I am glad. So as I said, the PRC, we show off our cadets what their achievements have been, but we also have 2 people that we would love to show more about their achievements, which is Cadet Keppel and Cadet Simchek. They're 2 of the most important people, except Cadet McFall. He's our big dog, as you would call him. We have Cadet Moorhead and Cadet Twist, who are 2 cadets who have finished and graduated high school early, which we are all extremely proud of them. We have 70 cadets that are completing dual credit classes and earning college credits, which we are also very proud of. And then we have award winners in non-JROTC, Skills USA, and then Silver Air Patrol Billy Mitchell Award, which you can see in the 2 pictures on the side. And I will hand this back over to Cadet McFall.
Just a few closing notes. I would like to cover the unit achievements, as Cadet Weaver has checked before. Our Raider team here this last year placed 7th in the male all-national competition at Fort Knox. We are the #1 Air Force team in the nation, 2nd time in a row. And the wing has reached a all-time high of over $11,000 for our fundraising goal, and $9,500 of that came from online donations alone, which you can see the picture there. Our marksman team is making headway. It is approved, and students and cadets are getting trained for that. The drill and color guard made the local news for Veterans Day at the OECP building. Yeah. Sorry, I apologize. I don't know the name. Next, our efforts towards a healthier core has also made headway. Students are being trained on nutrition, as well as better ways to physically exercise and what they can do to monitor and manage their health. Here recently, we had our HQ unit assessment. It was completed January 8th, and we were in good standing with a passing grade and excellent ranking. So we're very proud of that. And just a summary, we have completed 4 of our unit goals. Our physical training has improved. Many cadets are a lot healthier than what they started out with. Our community service is great with almost 800 community service hours cadet-wide. Our LDRs are very active. We have our most recent number, I think, was 40 cadets competing in the Raider team. And sorry, that will be all. I apologize, but thank you for your time.
I have a question. What does CIA stand for? As a TRIP? Is an acronym for something?
It stands for Cadets in Action. So
Cadets in Action.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Good. And so you're going to Grissom. Are you just going to the museum, or are you going to tour the whole base?
I'm pretty sure we have set up to go to through the whole base, if I'm correct.
Yeah, they basically. Could you please come up and talk in the microphone, please, so folks at home can hear you? Sorry.
Major Jeff Dorman. It's basically shadowing the folks at the base in a lot of different career fields, some flight line related, some security related, some like life support related. And it's pretty much a whole day, but it kind of gives them an overview of the different diverse career fields that are available in the Air Force.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. How many in this room have seen the B-58 that sits right there by US 31 on the way down? You go under the viaduct, you come right up here, and there's the B-58 Hustler sitting there. You haven't seen that? That is the world's most fantastic aircraft. Just so you know that. It is, really. I was a kid in the 60s and raised in Wabash County, was about 70 miles south of here. That was in almost like the landing pattern to our house. We'd be out there mowing the yard, and those things would come over low and slow, and just engines were roaring and stuff like that. Incredible aircraft. But if you study the history of it, it was never, ever dropped a bomb on anybody. But guess what? Our opponents and the people in the rest of this world feared the hell out of that aircraft. And I'll give you evidence. Fast forward to 2018, I find myself in Moscow in a military bunker 200 feet under the city of Moscow, accessed by a house, right? And you had to go down this long staircase. And so it's a museum now and stuff like that. But it was their NORAD, Nuclear Air Command at the time. They had this case over there, and it's got these artifacts in it. You know what one of the artifacts was? A B-58 Hustler. And I was like, why in the world would you have that thing in your museum? And they said, well, that's the reason why we had to build this thing 200 feet underground to protect us from that thing. So the world was afraid of our military prowess and our equipment and everything that we had going on. And guess what? They still do. All right. So, but anyhow, yes, for good reason. And so anyhow, you guys keep up doing what you're doing. And so anyhow, congratulations and thank you so much. And I look forward to the military ball. So appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll just say real quick, that was a great mission brief presentation. I always enjoy seeing you guys come up. You're always so well prepared. Your presentation, you guys have great presentation skills. You have command presence. It's always a joy to see you guys come up. So great job today.
Yeah. Corporal Listen, you skipped over one part really quick on the bottom of your LDR program. That's huge. 80% of your corps have finished their LDR hours. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. We try to make sure that all of our cadets are at least trying something. Mm-hmm. And most of them, they come for at least one practice we've seen, and they stay. It's quite impressive. They might come to one or two raiders. They're like, oh, that's not a good fit for me. Then they come to the drill team, and they're like, well, I love just walking fancy. So then they'll come and do that.
I figured there was something big to that 80% right there. Yes. I didn't want, you kind of clipped over and I was like, wait a minute, that's a pretty large percentage. So I wanted to make sure that everybody heard how great that was.
Yes.
Thank you guys very much. I'm really proud of you. Always proud of you. Yeah.
You guys walk away fancy? Can we see that?
Yeah. Can you do a fancy walk? Hey, this is great too. When that athletic and wellness center is built, don't forget there's a great area that's going to be available for you guys to practice in all year round. And physical fitness is going to be the key.
And I'd like to thank Senior Sergeant Master Rutledge and Major Dorman for everything that you do and leadership with our school corporation and also with the cadets here. It is awesome. And I'd like to, before you leave the floor here, give everybody a round of applause.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. For sure. Yes. We are so proud of you. And you were so polite at the ugly sweater run. You guys were amazing. Maybe saved my butt twice. Huh?
Word?
It was
Love it.
Very good. Well, Aaron, you're up next with the excellence of Elkhart.
Hi, guys.
I'm still in the Air Force mode here.
That was a
He's
great
talking planes,
Freudian
I'm talking
slip.
pilots.
Yeah.
Airplanes on the mind.
Yes.
Well, thank you, President Scott, members of the board, Mr. Mao. We've had another busy 2 weeks with some exciting times. Sixth graders at Bristol regularly engage in service experiences within the school, from distributing end-of-day notes to collecting, recycling, and assisting in classrooms. But recently, the older pirates gave back by reading to the kindergartners and fostering that community of learning. Elkhart's speech and debate team recently competed in the Bethany Christian Speech Tournament, facing strong competition from larger teams like Bishop Dwenger and Canterbury, But despite being a smaller team, our students showcased impressive skills and determination, and 4 members earned placements in their categories. Speech tournaments demand a high level of preparation and performance, and our team continues to rise to the challenge. I am a speech mom myself, so they work very, very hard. February is the Career and Technical Education Month, highlighting the impact of hands-on learning. On February 1st, the Career Center hosted a Region 1 Skills USA competition where students competed in 14 contests across various career pathways. A total of 138 students have advanced to the state competition in Indianapolis, and that will take place in April. They showcase expertise in fields like construction, digital media, automotive service, and many others. Skills USA continues to provide valuable opportunities for our students to demonstrate their skills and career readiness and compete at that stage. And in case you missed it, but I don't know how you could have, Elkhart High School's theater program received incredible recognition from the Dolly Parton herself, a testament to the excellence of our Arts and Communications School of Study. This honor highlights the hard work of the students and staff while connecting with Parton's impact on literacy through her Imagination Library, which launched here in Elkhart County in late 2023. So be sure, mark it on your calendars, be sure to catch their musical 9 to 5. That will be in mid-March, March 14th through the 16th. By way of music, Elkhart High School Jazz Band recently traveled to Purdue University, where they showcased their talent in a special performance. Excuse me. This opportunity allowed students to perform in a collegiate setting, gain valuable experience, and then also represent the excellence of our music program here in Elkhart. And then this is ISMA season, weekend after weekend after weekend, and we're already bringing in the gold. Many middle school and high school students recently competed in ISMA, the solo and ensemble contest. In vocal and piano, students earned 27 gold, 3 silver, and 20 individuals and groups are advancing to the state competition. In band, there were 36 gold and 8 silver, with Elkhart High School qualifying 4 ensembles and 19 band solos going to the state competition. And Pierre Moran Middle School has a soloist as a middle schooler going to the state competition, which is really impressive. When I made this slide, the boys wrestling had won 3rd place, an impressive winning in the sectionals, but then they were announced today that 5 of the wrestlers are going on to semi-state. So good luck to them as they compete. And congratulations to Wyatt Skipper, who earned the title of bowling semi-state runner-up and representing our bowling team, who have been bringing home lots of awards. And the cheerleading team competed at nationals in Orlando, Florida. Loved watching that online, by the way. Oh, she's gone already. They represented us on the national stage, and their hard work and dedication was wonderful to showcase at that prestigious event. And we've got many things coming up. Band and orchestra selection night, if the weather holds up, will be this Thursday night. Schools will be closed February 14th through 17th for President's Day. We have academic awards letters awards on the 19th, and then the 22nd is the Winter Guard contest. And one more that I would like to add that is not on there, February 23rd is College Goal Sunday, and that is an opportunity for families to come and get help completing the FAFSA. And so we will, if they can't make it on the 23rd, we also have several other dates that we're going to be hosting at the high school, and we will have those on social media. So as always, oh, there we are. As always, stay up to date on everything through following our social media. Thank you.
Aaron.
Maybe I need to show up on the 23rd, huh?
Good idea.
All right. Next, we have the consent items. on the agenda. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
Do we have any comments or discussion from the board regarding the consent items?
We do. We have a total of 4 donations. Bring Change to Mind Club received another $350. And then the Pierre Moran Middle School Hoopla event received $300 from the Elkhart Education Foundation for supplies. The Teenage Parent Program received $250 from Jeff and Tracy Miller. And then Jeff and Amy Martin donated $300 towards the supply and purchase of more robots, which I love hearing about those. But we have retirements, and at a total of 14 teachers, it equals 337 years of service at Elkhart. And I know that I like to go on and talk about every single person, but we would be here like all night long. So I want to say to you that we'll be celebrating them as the year progresses, but we want to thank them for the 337 years of service that they had amongst all of our schools. And most of them were in one building the majority of the time. So as we will miss all of those, and we look forward to, teachers that will be coming in to take care of our babies, we just want to take the time to thank them, and we look forward to celebrating them later this year.
Thank you, Kelly. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next, we have old business. Mr. Thorne, Board Policy 7540.03, Student Technology Acceptable Use and Safety.
Good evening, pardon me. Good evening, President Scott, board members, Mr. Mao. Tonight, the administration is presenting for further review and consideration by the Board of School Trustees proposed revisions to this policy governing the use of school district provided resources and equipment by our students. The proposed revised policy addresses both general expectations regarding the appropriate use of these resources by our students, and also provides direction to students regarding their use of artificial intelligence. I might add, the policy clearly denotes that that is governed and supervised by our certified teachers. We're seeking your approval of this policy this evening.
You, do I have a motion?
Motion.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussions or questions from the board? Hearing or seeing none? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. On to new business, Mr. Thorne. Board Policy 3120.08CS, Employment of Personnel for Extracurricular Activities.
Thank you, Mr. Scott. This evening, the administration is presenting for initial consideration a redraft of our policies governing the employment of staff for extracurricular activities. The proposed revisions address changes required both under Indiana law related to the qualifications these individuals must possess, as well as requirements established by the Indiana High School Athletic Association.
Do we have any questions or comments from the board? Hearing or seeing none, we'll move on to the next board policy.
Wait a minute. I sent you that email on
Yes.
this, and so I don't know that in the essence of time to go through my list of just kind of changes or clarifications on things that we can get together afterwards to make adjustments.
I'd be happy to meet with you afterwards and
Okay.
share those proposed changes with the board.
Okay.
Please remember to run our board policy through our 2 representative board policy, Daisy and Doug, when you get the chance. Thank you. Next board policy 3422.01 ACS, drug-free workplace.
Yes, my apologies first. This one should be listed as 3122.01 ACS. I apologize that we didn't catch that every time we reviewed this draft agenda prior to this evening. This proposed policy codifies the present expectations that the school corporation has related to employees who report for duty or attend a corporation-sponsored function while under the influence of drugs or alcohol, that those employees may be subject to disciplinary consequences to it. In fact, the policy clearly prohibits that. And we're presenting this to you this evening for preliminary consideration.
You, any questions or comments from the board?
Yeah, I've got one. I think that on the second to the last line of the second paragraph, the sentence that starts any administrator,
Yes,
I think we need to add or employee.
yes, thank you very much for catching that. And I will tell you that we have certainly over the years disciplined employees specifically for violations such as this.
Well, yeah, and especially
Yeah.
since you talk about administrative staff earlier in that paragraph, but then you also talk about employee separate from administrative staff. So I just thought we needed to add employee there.
Thank you.
Yep.
Ann?
Yep.
Any others? Okay, we'll move on to board policy 5340.01, student concussion and sudden cardiac arrest.
Thank you, Mr. Scott. This proposed policy, which we're again presenting for preliminary consideration, is in many ways a companion to proposed policy 3120.08 and incorporates the ongoing training requirements for district employees supervising students in activities where there exists the risk of concussion and or cardiac arrest. Again, bringing this tonight for preliminary consideration.
You? Any questions from the board? Seeing or hearing none, we'll move on to the next board policy 5410, promotion, placement, and retention.
Thank you. Tonight, the administration is presenting for preliminary consideration proposed revisions to this policy. Primary rationale for the proposed revisions is to address changes mandated by Indiana law with the passing last year of Senate Bill 2 as it relates to requirements related specifically to the iRead examination and the passage of that examination by our students, bringing to this night again tonight for preliminary consideration.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing or hearing none, we'll move on to the last item for you, Mr. Thorne, Administrative Regulations JEA1.
Thank you. Finally, the administration is bringing this evening proposed revisions to this administrative regulation for preliminary consideration. These revisions relate specifically to requests for information from parents who might be requesting early entrance to kindergarten for their children. The intent of these proposed revisions is to make sure that we have sufficient information to assess whether or not an enrolling student is truly ready for kindergarten.
Thank you. Questions or comments from the board? Thank you, Mr. Thorne.
Thank you very much.
Next on the agenda, Mr. Surge, new course proposals.
Good evening, President Scott, Mr. Mel, School Board of Trustees. The administration presents the following proposed new course offerings for board review. Principles of underground utility location, fundamentals of underground utility locating, advanced underground utility locating. These three courses make up one pathway that'll check one of our boxes for graduation. So these three courses will take 1 year for our students to work through. All right, the next set of courses that we would like your review on are Information Technology Fundamentals, Computing Foundations for a Digital Age, and Cybersecurity. Any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Surge.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Mao, filling in for Dr. Huff.
I've prepared a fairly lengthy.
That's why we got to this moment at shortly after 7:30 to give you time this evening.
It's been nice to be back with you. It's been a year or so since I had a chance to visit with the board at length, and it's been good. I thank you and all the staff for the excellent things that you're doing on behalf of kids here in Elkhart. I am particularly excited about the future as you work with Dr. Huff to create additional excellent opportunities for kids. And I want you to know I am one of your top cheerleaders in the community. So keep up the good work.
Thank you. And I want to thank you for being here today. Dr. Huff is away presenting at a conference of national superintendents down in Miami. And so thank you for being here. I was here bright and early this morning, preparing for our executive session. And I looked in the conference room, and you were hard at work, and it brought a calm over me. And so I was glad to see you here today, and thank you for your time and being available when we call. So thank you. All right. Anyone else from the board?
Well, I do have to add something that I cannot believe I missed because like I'm such a cheerleader for our paraprofessionals, but we also had 3 paraprofessionals that retired, just 3, 64 years of service of just 3 paraprofessionals. So we can never underestimate the value of our support staff and knowing how valuable they are. So I did not want to go without saying thank you, thank you, thank you, because they're there at the start of the day. They're there at the end of the day. They fill in absolutely everywhere. They're all over the building, all over the place. So we are very lucky for what we had in 64 years between 3 people. That's pretty darn amazing. That's it.
Anything else from the board? I'd like to take the opportunity to welcome Ann back, your first meeting. Welcome back, and your questions will be answered. So thank you as always for bringing those up.
Zach, we just got to let you off the hook for a week.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's fine. No, I'm glad to be back and eager and ready to keep working and helping move our district forward. So I'm excited to get working.
I'd have you. If nothing further, meeting adjourned.